Does nobody else find life extremely scary and hard? And do you not feel just alone all the time? Even if you have people in your life? Like, I just feel so scared in life. The whole thing is overwhelming to me, and it's very hard to deal with. And I just feel like everybody else is handling it really well, and I can't handle it in the same way that everybody else does. And I just don't get how everyone just deals with it. And I don't know why I can't deal with it in the same way everyone else does. Like, first, the fact that, like, people die. Like, that's my biggest thing. And, like, everyone just acts so casually about it. And they're like, oh, yeah, that's life. And you just deal with it. And I'm like, what do you mean? You just deal with it. Like, and you just, like, live your life with that. You just go on and you just don't care. I don't know, they're just so casual about it. And it's just... like, I think about it, like, every single day. And it weighs me down a lot because I was so afraid of something happening to the people that I love, and it just scares me so much. And then, like, to be honest, that's the biggest thing. But then also, like, money and just dealing with things and, like, aging and, like, how, like, time goes by so fast. Like, one day you're 20 and then the next day you're 30, and, like, at that point, by the time you've already reached 30, you know how fast time goes by, and you know that if time goes by that fast from 20 to 30, you know you're going to be 40 really quickly, and you know you're going to be like 50 even faster. So it just, time goes by so fast, and life is so short, and it's all just so fast, and it all just flies by, and you know that all the people you love, like, at least for me, they're all older than me, and you know that your time is so limited with them, and everything is so, like, precious and limited. And I know people are going to be like, well, that's what makes it precious, is that it's not infinite, you know. But I just feel like everyone's just taking it all too casually, and they just exist, and they're not seeing this. Or people, they do, like, dangerous things, and they, like, drive motorcycles and, like, just do dangerous stuff, and, like, people just die. But mostly, like, when you have really good memories with people and time periods with people, and they're over, and those time periods become periods of the past, and they don't exist anymore, and it's just over, and you'll never get them back. Or, you know, your childhood or your teen years, or your, for me, like, I think a lot about my early 20s. Not because I was partying, because I wasn't. Sorry, I could pause the video, but in my early 20s, I lived with my sister. We moved out together and we lived together, and it was, like, some of my best memories I ever had. And then we moved out separately after, like, 6 years, and it just, you know, it's over. And sure, we could live together again, but it'll never be the same, because there's something very special about being fresh out of your parents' house, fresh out of college, and just being young and exploring who you are. And it's not about that specific memory. It's just, yeah, it was about that time and learning about who you are and I'll never be that age again. And I know a lot of people feel that way about their youth, and you'll never get back those feelings. Sometimes people feel that way about like their first love. It's just this like feeling of this like these feelings that you can't really get back. It changes as you get older, and the older you get, the more like you realize these things. And people say like the youth is wasted on the young, and it's true, because when you're young you don't realize these things. And I remember my mom used to always say to us, she's like, enjoy these times, because when you're older you're gonna look back and it's just some of like those will be some of the best times of your lives. And I'm like, oh yeah, whatever. Like I didn't see the future when I was younger. And even now, I'm 31, and people are going to say to me, Alina, like, enjoy your life now, because when you're older, you're going to look back now and you're going to reflect on these times. Well, sure, but first of all, no, because I'm severely depressed, so no, I won't. Like, I'm miserable. And like, second of all, yeah, like, I get it, because it's like, with life, it's like we can't, life is so overwhelming, we can't take it in properly. And I try my best. I've tried for years now, for like 4 or 5 years ago, I tried to, like, I got really into Buddhism. Not that I consider that my philosophy or religion, but I do like some of their philosophies of really like living in the moment, and I try to live in the moment as much as I can. So I try to embrace those things, but you know, like, it's still hard. But just things change so much, and it just goes, and times change and things change and people change, and you don't ever know how long they'll be there for. And I just feel like everybody else is just dealing with this stuff, and I just can't deal with it. I can't deal with the concept of life. It's like weighs on me every single day, when everyone else is just like, they're in, I don't like to use these terms because I feel like they put down people, but everyone else is like living in like what people call like the matrix, and they're just like going to the job and coming home, and they're just worried about things that don't matter, and they're not seeing what's like the reality of us existing. But it's, you know, people, they say ignorance is bliss and stuff, or once you have a spiritual awakening you can't go back. And I do feel like that, like, everything was not easier, but some things were easier before you have a spiritual awakening. But I don't really like to I don't really like to claim spiritual awakening on here, because I feel like it sometimes sounds ignorant. But I guess, yeah, I can't deal with a lot of stuff. Obviously, like, I'm mentally unstable, and that doesn't help. But even if I was mentally stable, I don't know, like, I just feel like the past 5 years of my life, okay, well, even before that I was struggling, but the past 5 years of my life, I just feel like I've been in this constant like state of like distress. And but no, even before that but it was a different type of distress. It was just like normal people in the matrix. Like, I had depression, but I was like just worried about like my job and like boyfriends and like stuff, like who cares about it. But now I'm like worried about other stuff, and I can't deal with this existence and the whole concept of us existing and like aging, and not aging in a sense of like physically looking older, but just the concept of like mortality. And it's mostly about people I love. It's mostly about losing people I love, and like the limited time it's because I have such high value for the people that I love. Like, I just love them so much. My family, I just love them, and I just feel like I'm so afraid to lose them, you know? You just never know. It just weighs on me. But again, even still, just things change. Like, I look back to, you know, memories, like Christmas memories when I was a teenager or a kid with my family, and just, you know, you look at your parents and they age and they look different, and it's scary. And I know there's positive ways to spin it and there's positive ways to look at it. Like, you get to create new memories and things like that. But I get it. I get that there's positive ways to see it. I'm just saying that I can't handle it. Like, I can't deal with this reality of this existence, and I just can't handle this concept of existence. And I just feel like I'm not cut out for all of this. And then there's more basic stuff, like I said, like money and stuff. I can't deal with all that. Like, why does everything cost money? And how do you keep making money, and health, and this and that? And like, what if you can't afford things? And that's a smaller like side of it. I don't know. I just feel like I'm losing it all the time, and not mentally. Like, yes, mentally, but it just every single day I'm like, I can't do this. Obviously, I just keep trying, but I'm like, man, when am I gonna be okay? Never.